First, to our top focus in this edition, India has reacted sharply to the pro-Khalistan rally that is being organized in London on the 12th of August. The spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs has called it a separatist event and expressed hope that the British government would act appropriately. He said India had made its objections clear to the British government, both in writing and otherwise. The controversial pro-Khalistan rally in London is being organized by Sikhs for Justice. The goal of that rally is to hold a non-binding referendum in 2020.
On the funding part, it is difficult for me to take a guess on that. I think this is something which the investigative agencies have to respond to. But on our own request, you see, it is difficult for me to reply on behalf of what the UK government has said. You see, I think, but let me make our position very clear, which is that we have drawn their attention to the fact that the event in London is a separatist activity which impinges on India's territorial integrity. We have said that it seeks to propagate violence, secessionism and hatred. And of course, you know, we expect them to take into account the larger perspective of the relationship when they take a decision in such matters. We have told them in writing, we have taken it up in person as well, that this is what we feel about the rally. And I think we will have to just wait and see now.
Let's get in further details from our correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's been tracking the developments very closely. Siddhant, India has raised strong objections with the British government. Bring our viewers up to speed with what the Indian government and the Foreign Ministry have conveyed to the British authorities.
Well, strong statement by India, by the official spokesperson of the MEA. He was reacting to a question posed by a journalist. A lot of questions on this pro-Khalistan rally, which is going to take place on 12th of this month. India has sent 3 demarches and raised the matter with the Foreign Office also, but it seems that the United Kingdom's government has allowed the rally to take place, and that of course concerns India. India has used strong terms, calling it as a separatist activity which impinges on India's territorial sovereignty. So clearly strong terms used publicly when it comes to this kind of event. And India also said that it has sensitized its missions across Europe, that it should sensitize the governments there against such kind of events, because as India terms it, it's a separatist event which is going to take place on 12th of August. And earlier we have seen that a lot of such events, and Indian officials, the Indian Foreign Ministry officials, the members of the foreign missions of India have been barred from entering Gurdwaras. That also India has raised with the governments in Canada and UK. But this event India is not taking lightly. Vion also approached the High Commissioner here in India, and they said that UK actually believes in right of freedom of expression, and clearly it can be seen that UK hiding behind this right of freedom of expression that India says is a separatist activity for the country.
I was just coming to that, Siddhant. What exactly is the UK's justification for allowing this rally to take place as scheduled? It has come out in support of that controversial pro-Khalistan rally.
Well, not only the official position, but there are some parties also in Britain that are supporting this this entire event, which is going to take place on 12th. The main aim of this entire this rally, which is going to take place on 12th, is for a referendum, a 2020 referendum, which is to take place, non-binding referendum. But this is what the High Commission here in Delhi told to Vion and also the Foreign Office, that in UK people have the right to gather together and to demonstrate their views, provided that they do so within the limits of the law. They also said that they would not tolerate any group to spread hate or deliberately raise community fears. Of course, the Indian spokesperson raised this fact. He said that these kinds of events lead to hatred, lead to problems. And one question was also posed, saying that are India-UK ties going towards a downhill? Because not only this is an issue, there are issues such as extradition of fugitives like Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya, that also coming up. So a lot of questions, collective questions regarding India-UK ties. The spokesperson, of course, said that there is no downslide in the relationship. But when he was finishing his answer, he said that UK should take into account long-term perspective when it comes to relations such as these, important relations such as these. This is an important statement. This is basically diplomatic language which is being used, which means that it's high time UK takes into concerns India's issues, especially pro-Khalistan activities, which is taking place as we speak, and the big rally, of course, on 12th of this month.